What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jeremy D. Glass here. Okay, I'm a fucking drunk, y'all. And today's video, something new. I may have spoken it on a channel in a video or two before. I'm not honestly too fucking sure. But this one right here is a drunken story that I honestly think is one of the funnier ones of the ones that happened to me. And I'm going to be doing a couple more of these down the line. But this one right here, to start it off, we're going to start it off pretty big. Now, little backstory than that. My buddy Pondo was throwing a party and I was heading over there. And I had already been drinking way too much before I even went over there. And a little bit more backstory, because for the story later. I have a GMC pickup, but the tailgate don't work, okay? You'll remember that later while I'm mentioning that now. Now, went over to his house, and I just drank and drank and drank till I didn't remember shit. Now, fast forward to the next morning. The pickle I found myself in was strange to say the least. Now, if you know the area I live in, which is kind of a pasture, deserty area, somehow, somewhere down the line of the night, I said, hey, I'm going to take my truck out down the back roads. And somewhere along those lines, I ended up driving down the pipeline right away. Now, the area I was in was pretty sandy. So unfortunate for me, my truck ain't 4x4 either. It's also dropped by like 6 inches with fucking goddamn low profile tires, which I could only find a fucking 2-ply. Now I got rid of those fucking tires. I was tired of those things anyway. But I wake up, truck's still running. I'm like leaned over in the motherfucker like this. Oh fuck. Hung over in a motherfucker trying to figure out where the fuck I am. Now, all I can see is I look around and just see, the pipeline right away, obviously, so it's kind of clear, and I just got mosquitoes on each side of me. My phone's at like 28%, I think, at the time. Truck radio still running, music still playing. I'm like, what the fuck? I look up, and all I could guess was, my common sense was I got lost out there, and I could see my truck was facing directly at the water tower for town. And all I could think in my head was like, I must have got lost and said, fuck it. I'll just drive to the water tower till I get to town. Yeah, that wasn't going to work, by the way, because just up ahead there was a fucking fence and a gate and shit, which I couldn't have no fucking key for. So luckily I didn't make it to that because I got stuck. Now, I didn't realize I was stuck yet. I'm like, fuck, let's go the fuck home. Tired, hungover. I toss the truck and drive. Well, fucking not going away. I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck. Well, I'm going to see if I can rock this bitch out. So I toss it in reverse. And then I look out my mirror, and that's when I seen something spinning. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get out the truck, put it back in park. I get out the truck, and I look back at my back driver's side tire, gone. The other 3 tires were there, but that tire was just gone. And even going back down that right away later, I still didn't find the motherfucking tire. Still couldn't find that bitch even later. Even if it was just shredded or fucking fell off, could not find the motherfucker. Now I'm sitting there like, wow, what the fuck am I going to do now? So I start, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, my phone's only at 28%. I got to get out of here now before this bitch. It may have been 18, it may have been lower than that. I'm just guessing. It's been a while since this. But I'm going through my contacts, calling people. Everybody in my contact list was either out of town, fucking working, or, didn't have a vehicle that I knew would fucking pull me out of there. So I finally get a hold of one buddy on Facebook, luckily. And I call his ass up, and luckily his family runs the fucking, goddamn, not junk shop, but fucking junkyard here in town. Well, the town next over. I'm like, hey man, I'm stuck and I need a fucking tire to get my truck out of here. And the reason I called him was because I knew his family ran that junkyard, and also I knew he had a Bronco that would pull my ass out. Now, he's like, yeah, let me go to the junkyard, see what I can find. And he heads out there, and he luckily finds just an old tire that was beat up but still had held air and everything. You know, it wasn't the best condition, but he found it and fit the truck too. So he calls him back. He's like, "Hey man, so where exactly are you at?" And I'm like, "Man, honestly, I have no fucking clue. I know I'm outside towards Wink, towards fucking the Temple is what was out that way. It's an old hangout spot for high schoolers." I'm like, "Well, I'm out near Temple, I think, out in that direction." I get on my Google Maps, pull it up, turn on my at this point I had turned on my LTE. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to use this shit because it's going to erase my battery. But I turn it on, and fucking I'm looking at Google Maps. I'm like, dude, I'm like a mile away from like road 128 is what I think it was, or 328 or something like that. Can't remember now. I'm like, I'm out near that way. So just see what you can do. I'll meet you out on that road. So I start walking my way through the pasture towards that road, trying to get to it. I finally get there, and I wait for about, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes. He finally shows up. My phone's dead by this point, and first thing I'm looking for, I'm like, "Mother, you got some water? I'm dying out here." And luckily he was thinking, he's like, well, he stopped and got some Propels, thinking I might be thirsty by the time he got out there. So lucky there. Well, we drive up the road, and then we take a left, and then we see the pipeline right away. I'm like, it's got to be down this way. This has got to be the way I went. So we head down it. And like I said, we drove down it. We never seen that fucking tire that went missing off my truck. And we finally get down there. We get the tire changed out. He fucking pops that motherfucker back on. And we were good to go. He starts pulling my ass out. Now, he just followed in front of me until we got all the way to the road to make sure in case I got stuck again. Like I said, my truck was a 4x4 and it was really sandy out there. But golly, was that experience. Now, to add on top of that, now you're probably sitting there thinking, you probably already forgot about the tailgate I was telling you not opening. The reason I mentioned that was in the bed of my truck, there was this big ass fucking barbecue pit. And to this day, I don't know where the fuck that motherfucker came from. And two, I don't know how I got it in the bed of my fucking truck. Because when I went to take it out of my truck once I got home finally, that bitch was too heavy for me to lift. Just out the bed of my truck, even just if I just wanted to toss it off the edge. I couldn't lift it to the edge. Because it was a low-sitting barbecue pit, short, stubby leg, but God, my motherfucker was heavy. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, how the fuck did I pick this bitch up, drunker than a motherfucker, and put it in the bed of my truck? And to this day, that's a mystery I still have yet to goddamn solve. Like I said, I couldn't drop the tailgate, set it on the tailgate. Hell, I don't think I could lift it up that high to the fucking tailgate to begin with, even if the tailgate dropped. And that's one of the greatest mysteries of one of my drunken stories to date. And well, really there ain't much left of the story. I still got the barbecue pit sitting outside though. Ain't really used it, but still sitting out here. Now, that's all I got for today. Tonight, whatever the fuck time this goes up, I'm motherfucking drunk, y'all, here. And as always, stay motherfucking drunk, y'all.